Welcome back to your go-to stock market channel, Tesla channel, for all of your investment needs, specifically with Tesla and the broad markets, the ups, the downs. We are here for it all, baby. And today is definitely an update. Tesla stock at the time of recording this video around 3 p.m. is up about 7.5% on the day. This is because we're getting very good news coming from Tesla on multiple different fronts. So it's not like there's one thing that's good today. There is multiple issuance of good news, and we're going to get into all of them here in this video, as well as something you guys need to know, which is Fed Jerome Powell will be speaking tomorrow, and the markets might not like what he has to say. We're going to get into it and much more here in this video, guys. So let's get into it. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. But most importantly, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. And don't forget, make sure to hit that like button if you like Tesla, you like trading, or you just like to make some money, baby. Like I said, this is the place to be. So first things first, guys, we're going to talk the good news with Tesla here today, because there is multiple rounds of good news. And we're going to start with the generic one, and that is that China is reopening. And from this article, they're basically saying people are flocking to China. Like China is rebirthed at this point. That's essentially what this article is saying, that things are back to normal, no more, testing or quarantining, and like China, I mean, China does what it wants. So even a lot of people were like not even allowed to go home from their work sites, right? It was wild what was going on in China. The fact that they are reopening is not only a good thing for Tesla, a great thing for Tesla, but it's also a great thing for global growth, right? When you can do more business with the second largest economy in the world, when you can travel to China, when you can just participate in the world, that is going to be a positive thing, especially in 2023, where a lot of things are up in the air. Recession, no recession. Fed rate cut, no Fed rate cut. Are earnings going to come down? Are they not going to come down, right? You get the dilemma. So that is a very positive thing that is happening here today. And that was the first bit of good news. That's not the best news that we're getting for Tesla, though. The best news comes from this article. And it says, and the actual headline of this article is kind of mixed, right? Tesla owners in China protest price cuts as delivery times extend on higher demand. And we're going to skip down this whole article to where I have highlighted. So this is actually some of the protesting you can see going on. And essentially people want their rebate, like a rebate, right? They want some money back when they just purchased the Tesla before 2023, because Tesla just cut prices. If you had bought a Tesla the day before, you didn't get that price cut, right? Even if you're still waiting on your vehicle, your price is kind of like locked in. And these people want price cuts, and the spokesperson for Tesla China said no way that is going to happen. Said that's not going to happen, right? They ain't coming off of it. Well, this is the most exciting thing. So it says, in addition to prompting protests, the price cuts are apparently driving new demand for its vehicles. Tesla's China website shows waiting times for both the rear-wheel drive and long-range versions of the Model Y are both a week longer after the price cuts. The delivery wait time for both of those Model Y versions was pushed to 2 to 5 weeks. However, the wait time for all Model 3 versions and the Model Y Performance Editions remained at 1 to 4 weeks. Also, I think you will continue to see more and more demand for Tesla in China. A lot of this does have to do with the price cuts incentivizing consumers, but also the fact that China is now opening. So China has done what China wants as far as COVID policy. If China says you can't leave the factory, you got to hunker down because everyone's getting sick, but we still need you to work, then what's the point of going out and buying a Tesla when you can't drive it, out the city, right? You can't even leave the city. You can't even go home to your family. Why would you buy a Tesla? So I think those two factors, coincidentally enough, that Tesla just cut prices and China just opened, Who knows if that was a planned ordeal, but I think the two together is like the perfect combination to continue to see more and more demand for Teslas in China. And I do think that is just something the stock was not pricing in. The stock at this point was not expecting to get good news on this magnitude, and that's why the stock is well outperforming its peers and up about 8% at the time of recording this video, guys. So that is the big news with Tesla here today. There is other news as well, though, that I think you guys want to hear, and it is the option activity in Tesla. So when you go ahead and take a look at the options, and this is the interesting flow sentiment. So for today, you were seeing 728 orders totaling $922.15 million. Positive order value of 54%. So the overwhelming majority of orders are positive, and this could be buying calls or selling puts. The positive order value is over 50%. That is positive on the day, and you're seeing a lot of options being placed on Tesla. So this does lead me to believe this rally might just have some legs to it, as long as the markets don't throw us a curveball. And the first curveball could be Fed Jerome Powell coming tomorrow. This is going to be the first time that we've heard from Fed Jerome Powell since the labor report came out, and it's right before the CPI data will also be released on Thursday. So depending on what Fed Jerome Powell says, he could definitely throw us a curveball, especially since the markets have rallied pretty aggressively for the start of 2023. Obviously, compared to where we ended in 2022, 2023 really feels like a sigh of relief. If Jerome Powell does not want the markets to rally, in which I don't think he does, he's almost publicly stated, or at least made it very clear, he does not want loosening of financial conditions, in which that's what a stock market rally is. He could come out and just say a couple things and bat the markets down coming tomorrow ahead of the CPI release, in which we've talked about it, guys, in the last video, so go ahead and watch that if you have not already. But there is very high expectations that CPI will plummet month over month, at least month over month, and all the readings for inflations have high expectations that they plummeted over the last month and the year over year readings. So it's not like we have a low bar to beat. We got a high bar to beat. So that is a big problem, I think, throughout the rest of this week for Tesla and for Tesla stock to actually get in this bottoming formation and to actually sustain a rally from here on out. If we do go ahead and take a look at Tesla on the charts, we're getting a lot of bullish indicators here today. You're getting a MACD bullish indicator, you're getting an RSI bullish indicator, an outside bar, just technical bar formation bullish indicator, and you're also getting an engulfing line indicator, which all of these are bullish. Typically, when you get so many bullish indicators on a single day, you can tend to string together some pretty aggressive rallies, and we are above the 5-day moving average as of right now. So it looks like we're in this bottoming formation, and today was definitely good. But yesterday, you seen the stock hit the low at $101.81. You're now at $120. So it's been a very aggressive move from the lows that we seen yesterday to where we currently are now. And the RSI is now at 36.54. Neutral is 50, so you're still well under the neutral level of 50. You're still technically on the oversold side of things, but coming off of where we were, this is a very positive development here on the day, and the volume remains to be very high in Tesla stock. And there is that. I do think the risk to reward makes a lot of sense to be long in Tesla, especially if you believe demand in China will continue based off of reopening factors as well as the price cuts that Tesla has initiated with their products, guys. So there is that information. Now, as far as earnings, this is going to be the big thing to keep in mind as well. The stock market cares about CPI, they care about all of that, but we care more about earnings, believe it or not, where fundamentals are going. Even if the Fed started, cutting rates or stop raising rates, if they started to do quantitative easing, if the Fed could do whatever they wanted to do to try to save the markets, if earnings were plummeting like 20% down year over year, it would not matter. If earnings hold up, then the Fed kind of matters a little bit more, right? If earnings just keep going higher, if they seen a record year in 2023, in which it's not going to happen, then nothing else would matter, right? Ultimately, earnings matter, and you're going to get earnings with the banks on Friday. CPI comes out on Thursday, so these two things could really catapult us to the upside or drop us in a huge way to the downside. And just to run through these names again for you guys, if you did not watch the last video, you have Bank of America on Friday, United Health Corporation, JP Morgan, Citi, Wells Fargo, Delta, BNY Mellon, BlackRock, and First Republic Bank. Bank of America and JP Morgan, those are the two largest banks by assets under management. They are the top dogs in that regard. So depending on what they have to say about the state of the consumer, it will be ultra important for the markets. And like I said, I've said this in the last video, but I'll repeat it here today. If you do get a CPI report that comes out that is very negative and the markets fall, if bank earnings are negative, that's going to be like two peas in a pod, and it's going to be a very bad thing. If you do get a negative CPI report and you get positive bank earnings, you might have a neutralization kind of effect. If you get positive CPI, markets react positive, and banks are positive, bank earnings are positive, well, that could be a very good thing for Tesla, very good thing for the overall markets, guys. So that is going to be it for this update on January 9th, 2023. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button if you like making money, if you like Tesla stock, or you like to trade the markets. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.